fucking drunk.
Hey, what's up guys? Today I have a story for you guys, and this story takes place almost 2 years ago, so that's actually like a year and a half ago now, but it was in February of 2015. I was in 5th grade, and this was the first fight that I've ever actually seen. It was kind of funny because there was 4 of us, well, 5 actually. So there was this girl, right? We'll call her Alyssa. That's a good name for her. We'll call her Alyssa, and she would have like so many boyfriends, and just like date them for a week straight, and then dump them, and get another one. And this kept on happening, and then we'll call one of them Foster, and the other one we'll call Jake. So Jake likes Alyssa, and Foster dated Alyssa, but Foster now thought that Alyssa was stupid. She looked like a log because she wore a bit of makeup, and he just had so much to say about them. So yeah, and they got in a fight, and this was in February. So we were outside, and this is on the day day that we all had to skip, and they were all in a group together, so that turned out really good after. But what happened was, lunch recess, because we still had recess at this time, they went outside, and I was kind of a part of this, not really though, I just knew what happened. And what happened was, they started saying words to each other, right, about Alyssa. And Foster and Jake were the main people saying stuff at each other. And eventually, a guy named, we'll call one Dawson, and we'll call one Nolan. And Nolan and Dawson are just with each of them. They don't really have a say in it, but they also dated Alyssa. Or, well, kinda dated, not really, but it's just, that's what we called it. And so they were just right behind them. And keep in mind, there are teachers out there, and how our school, like, playground kind of idea works is there's the front and then the back side. The grade 5s and the grade 6s are in the front end, and every other grade's in the back. And the grade 5s and 6s, we were in grade 5, there's like this giant soccer field, and then there's a playground on the far left, and the soccer field's just in the center. And they were just there, and it was snowy, so they were getting like ice and stuff, and they were actually throwing it at each other. But the teacher who was there supervising was like, she didn't even notice, which was funny, and I don't know. And no one told her because it was just like, it didn't look like anything bad. And these guys all think they're tough, so we'll get to that in a minute. It's kind of really funny. But they started fighting. They actually threw a couple punches. Foster punched Jake right in the mouth, and Jake started to cry, and Jake kicked Foster in the shin, and Foster started to cry. But that's how that worked. And at the end of recess, someone actually told the teacher, or a teacher, about this. And one by one, it was weird because we have French class, or in that school there is a French class, and you would go to that, and right after the recess, after lunch recess, we would go right to French, and the teachers, the grade 5 teachers, our teachers, would just come one by one and take them out. And then there's this really mean teacher. She's like the meanest teacher you will ever actually meet. Like, she is just mean, and she would scream at these people, and Nolan and Dawson didn't do anything, because they were there, and they were told that they were there. Like, someone told the teachers that they were there, because they didn't tell the teacher, so they got screamed at too. And Jake and Foster were made to sit at different desks outside in the hallway, and this is all awkward and stuff for passing by them. And they were writing on pieces of paper, and what they were writing is, "I will not fight at school ever again." And it was kind of funny because they always act so tough, and then when they're out there, they are crying. They're in a ball outside. It's like they were actually crunched up in like a little ball you make with your body and stuff, and they were just crying with the teachers talking to them. And this girl, right, Alyssa, well, that's what her name is, or what I called her, not her real name. She brings her iPad to school, her iPad mini. She did, because she moved away now after that. But her iPad was at school, right? And they pulled her out. They made her get her iPad because these people texted her and stuff. And they would go through her iPad. They just went through her iPad, went through all of her posts on Instagram, went through her Snapchat. They couldn't find anything on that, but still, that's what they did. And eventually, at the end of the day, like, because it was like a fitness kind of day or something, we would go like for the Heart and Stroke Foundation. I don't know if you know what that is, but you skip for people and you raise money and you get prizes. And they were just there because gym's sectioned off and you get to pick a group. And I was in this group, keep in mind. And we were just all in this group. And you just got to skip together. One person goes on, one person gets off. And it was really funny because at the end of the day, they were perfectly fine. But early on, like an hour and a half ago, they were punching each other. So that was weird. But I hope you enjoyed this story. It's not that good. I'm sorry. But if you liked it, give a comment and like the video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and see you guys later. Peace.